Anna, be honest. Did you take money from Harper's purse?
Seriously, why would I do that?
You're behaving like a parasite. It's shameful. Is your greed boundless? At the very least, don't stoop to stealing from your own sister. You need to leave immediately. Get out of her house.
I didn't take anything. Does Harper even carry cash?
Someone swiped cash from her wallet, and it wasn't me or her mom. It clearly wasn't Harper either. So that leaves you.
What's happening? I've never pilfered from any of you. And by the way, I saw you flaunting a $100 bill the other day when we were about to buy merchandise for your beloved K-pop band.
Don't attempt to blame it on me right now. That was my hard-earned cash from work.
You've never worked before.
What are you saying? And who else could it be? It's undoubtedly you. Even Mom and Dad think so.
Do they really? They've never accused me of anything. You, on the other hand?
Stop evading. You're making yourself seem guiltier. Mom and Dad are really upset. Don't worsen it.
How do you know they're upset?
I communicate with them. Obviously, they referred to you as a blood-sucking parasite and want you out of the house ASAP.
I find that difficult to believe.
Well, you should believe it. They even implied they suspect you might be pilfering from them too, which I fully buy.
Based on what?
It's your way of life, you unemployed leech. They've had enough of you. They want you gone. You need to find work or do something with your life. That's what they confided in me.
Are you sure they weren't referring to you?
Yeah, I overheard them, and it was definitely about you. They didn't use your name, but I picked up on it.
They've never discussed this with me. If they're this fed up, it must have been an ongoing issue. Did you inform them about something?
No way. I might have mentioned you briefly, but they were already talking about you.
How can you be so sure they weren't discussing me?
I just know, okay?
Something's amiss. How did the money vanish?
You'd know best, considering you're taking it, but it's clear you're swiping cash from bags and wallets when no one's around.
How much is missing?
They mentioned a few hundred or something, enough to be concerned about expenses. It started when your company went under and you got laid off.
Coinciding with when I moved back in?
Exactly. So you confess?
I'm not admitting anything. I have no motive to steal. I have savings and severance. I'm commencing a new job soon. Why would I need to steal?
I don't know. You tell me you spend money on games or hideous clothes. You're always in your room or sneaking out. What are you up to?
I've been studying, if you must know.
For what?
Something related to my new job. I covered the expenses myself.
Fine, believe what you want.
Are you truly my sister? You know nothing about me.
Maybe, but what I do know is someone's robbing Harper, Mom, and Dad. It's you, no doubt.
Are you certain? I have money, you need cash. You splurge on concert tickets and merchandise. Did you purchase the limited edition CD?
I don't need to steal anything. I got my items reasonably.
Well, it's not me. I lack motive. It only takes a moment to realize that you are the thief.
You're shifting the blame onto me? Accusing me doesn't absolve your guilt. Leave before things worsen.
I doubt it is as you portray. Mom and Dad would have challenged me if they had known. And why should you come to me instead of Harper?
I don't know. Maybe she's unaware or avoids the confrontation. She didn't mention her missing money. I realized it when I asked for a loan.
Didn't you claim to have money?
I needed cash. I intended to repay it.
All right, if you insist. But if Harper remains silent, why not ask Mom and Dad? You said they're furious.
They're furious with you. Dad's never been angrier. He won't even talk to me.
That's serious. But if they're so mad, why not kick me out? If I were stealing, why risk further confrontation?
It's embarrassing to evict your own daughter onto the streets. Ask them. Start packing so they don't toss your belongings. Begin searching for a place to live.
Hey, Grandma, I hope I'm not bothering you. I know this is kind of last minute, but would it be possible for me to stay with you for a little while?
Oh, Anna, it's wonderful to hear from you, dear. Of course, I'd be delighted to have you stay.
If that's okay, it may be for a long time.
Absolutely fine. I've been living alone in this house for quite some time. Having someone around will be a nice change. I'll prepare the spare bedroom for you if you'd like.
That would be fantastic. I hope it won't be too much trouble.
Not at all, dear, not in the slightest. Is there a specific reason for your visit? Have you found a new job in my area, perhaps?
No, it's not about that. It's a bit complicated to explain. I need a temporary place to stay while I look for a new place.
I thought you were staying with your parents.
Well, they asked me to leave. They believe I've been taking money from them.
What? How can they make such an accusation? But did you take any money?
Absolutely not, Grandma.
Well, that's reassuring, dear. For what it's worth, I trust you. But why would they accuse you of such a thing?
There's been money disappearing from everyone's wallets, and Lucy managed to sway them into thinking it's me. Given my job situation, they've pointed fingers at me. Oddly enough, no one seems inclined to believe my side of the story.
Lucy is constantly up to not good. I've told them to keep a closer eye on her.
You're absolutely right. This is a new low even for her. I can't continue staying there with her behaving this way. So I thought I'd step away for a while until things calm down. Maybe I'll return once my parents sort things out, but for now I need a change of environment.
Naturally, dear. Stay as long as you need.
You're a lifesaver, Grandma. I'm baffled by why all of this is happening. I believed my parents trusted me. I've always tried to be a responsible daughter and not burden them.
I'm just as puzzled as you are. It's disheartening that they won't listen to your side of the story. Lucy can be quite impulsive, but I didn't think your parents were easily fooled.
It's also beyond my understanding.
Well, you don't need to subject yourself to that negativity any longer than necessary. Stay as long as you like, Anna. At least you have someone here who believes in you, and I'll assist however I can.
Thank you so much, Grandma. I'm just finishing up packing and I'll be on my way soon.
I'll be here waiting. Oh, and I'll make a cake for your arrival. What flavor would you like?
You know, I absolutely love your famous German chocolate cake.
The same one I made for your birthday. I adore that dish. However, you are the only one in the family that does. I'd be delighted to make it again.
By the way, I've been meaning to share some good news, especially since we could use it right now. I did manage to find a new job.
That's fantastic news, sweetheart. I'm incredibly proud of you.
Thank you so much, Grandma. It took a lot of hard work to get that new certification, but it was well worth it. I'll begin at the beginning of the next month.
I'm thrilled for you. I understand how challenging it can be to secure work after experiencing a layoff. I've been there more than once, but I wasn't worried. I know how hardworking you are.
I hope it won't be too much of an inconvenience to stay with you. I'm more than willing to cover my food expenses and contribute to the bills.
No need to worry, dear. I'm glad to have you here, and you can contribute however you see fit, although I'd prefer you save your money.
Are you certain?
Absolutely. I'm pleased to have you stay without worrying about finances.
Thank you so much, Grandma.
Oh dear, I'm simply doing what any grandma would do. I'm saddened that your father doesn't seem to believe you in this situation. I'll definitely have a stern talk with him once this is all sorted out. You're a wonderful child and don't deserve to be treated this way.
I'm grateful that you're on my side at least.
Of course I am. Families should support one another, not drive each other away. Anyway, I'll be here when you arrive.
Thanks again, Grandma. I'll see you soon.
Why haven't you left yet? Dad has been yelling at you to get out for hours. You're just isolating yourself in your room.
I am working on leaving, but I need some time to pack my belongings. I can't just abandon everything here. If you could give me some space, I'll be able to leave more quickly.
Fine, just leave already. We can arrange to send your things to you or something.
If I'm really causing the problems you claim, wouldn't it be counterproductive for me to ask you to ship my stuff? I'd prefer to pack my things myself instead of burdening you. I won't come back later to collect it either.
You're probably stalling so you can try to steal from us again. We won't let you get away with it. I've figured out your tactics.
What exactly have you figured out?
Your way is to distract us by causing trouble, and while we're occupied, you steal from us. You did it recently, too. Mom just noticed more money missing while we were focused on you. You're becoming quite skilled at this. Were you studying how to be a better thief?
No, I was actually studying for a certification exam related to my new job.
Yeah, right. That's just an excuse. You're good at acting, I'll give you that, but it's over now. We've caught on to you. You're just a useless, single, miserable person with nothing to show for it.
Are you implying that all these accusations somehow prove I'm a thief?
What I mean is, aside from the theft, we don't want you here. No one believes you, and we're happy to see you go. Get out and don't even think about coming back.
I've already made it clear I'm not planning to return.
So where are you going then?
I have my plans sorted out. Don't worry about me. Once I'm gone, you won't hear from me again.
Perfect. That's what we want.
I'm glad we're on the same page. I won't stick around to endure baseless accusations. If this is how I'm treated just for living here and minding my own business, I have no intention of coming back. I did my part. I paid a portion of the mortgage, covered my share of the bills, and bought my own food. I never caused any financial burden for Mom and Dad, let alone for you or Harper, and this is how you treat me.
You got what you deserved.
Whatever you say, just remember if you ever need help, don't expect me to come to your aid. And don't be shocked if you find yourself having to leave this place.
What? Why? Doesn't Mom and Dad own this house? They've been living here for decades. The bank wouldn't take it or anything.
Maybe you should have that conversation with them.
What did you tell Grandma? She came over and said we need to leave.
Really? She said that?
This house is actually Grandma's. She let us live here all these years. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew. I was paying her while I lived here. I paid most of the money for the house.
Why didn't you tell me?
I said you should ask Mom and Dad. I thought they could explain.
They said I shouldn't worry.
They probably didn't worry. Grandma didn't ask them for much money, just enough for taxes.
If it wasn't much, why did they make you pay?
I wanted to help. It seemed fair since Dad lost his job when I moved in. With your school costs and other stuff, they needed help. But it added up. I used a lot of my savings to pay rent for a few months. I did some work for friends to make some extra money, but it was still hard.
Did you really pay for everything without a job?
Yeah, it wasn't too expensive for such a big house, but it was more than I could easily pay. Grandma was nice and let me delay payments sometimes, and she helped too. I told her I'd give her money back when I got a job again. I've also been giving her money to stay here. That's probably why she didn't bring it up until now. I was basically paying for the house, but now she can manage with the money she has.
How much did you pay each month?
I think around $1,200 or more.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but that's not everything. The land is valuable, and even though the city let Grandma pay taxes bit by bit, it was still about $1,500 each month. She usually paid the rest, but sometimes I, Dad, or Mom helped. But then they stopped, so I tried to help as much as I could. Now that I'm leaving, Grandma says I don't have to pay anymore.
That's nice of her.
It just makes sense, but when Dad found out she wanted full payment, he argued with her. He said families shouldn't have to pay, but Grandma was tired, especially after he kicked me out. So she told him to pay or leave, and he left.
That's why she came here and told us to go.
Right. She might let you stay if you can pay.
We can't afford that much. I definitely can't, and Dad and Mom don't work much now.
Maybe you could ask her for a lower price, but she can't pay for both her house and yours. Even if she wanted you to stay, she might not be able to.
But we can't pay either.
That's tough. I don't have an answer. If you can't pay, you might have to move out. You've been relying on Grandma for a while now. If anyone's taking advantage, it's your situation, not mine. I paid when I lived on her properties.
We're not taking advantage. We're family. She should help us. We're not like you.
Then either pay without complaining or find a new place. Moving might be cheaper at this point. You'll probably have to live in a smaller place. There's no way Dad can afford a big house with his current pay, and I doubt he'll get more money soon.
Wait, how much does Dad make?
You don't know?
He never said. I know they cut his work hours and money is tight, but he didn't say much.
He makes enough to get by. Mom helps too, but they can't afford much more. Taking care of the house would be too much. It was okay when I lived there, but now it's different.
It can't be that bad.
Ask them about it. They'll tell you the same thing I did. Oh, and I just remembered. I left something behind when I moved out quickly. Can you look for it?
What did you leave? Your room is almost empty except for your old mattress.
I left it somewhere else in the house. Let me know when you find it, and Grandma can take it when she comes over.
How did your first day at work go, Anna? How about we go out to eat and celebrate? Maybe some seafood?
That sounds like a good idea, Grandma. Sure, let's do it. By the way, while we're chatting, I wanted to ask you about something Lucy mentioned. She said you told Mom, Dad, and the others that they had to move out of the house.
Yes, I spoke with your dad again today. He's still not willing to pay any rent. It's reached a point where I have no option but to ask them to leave. My monthly income isn't enough to keep up with the house expenses. We were able to manage when your grandfather was around, and your contribution was a big help, but now it's just too much for me alone.
I'm a bit surprised, honestly. It seemed fine before.
Sadly, your dad isn't the most generous person, and your mom's influence doesn't help matters either. I suggested a reduced payment, but they weren't even open to that. So I had to make this decision.
They didn't even consider paying something? That's unfortunate. It's almost funny how they accused me of being a burden, yet they're doing this.
You have a point. I have to admit, I'm somewhat ashamed that it's come to this. I raised your father with better values, or so I thought. But it seems he's become more self-centered over time. Anyway, let's set that aside. We should be celebrating your new job. Tonight's dinner is on me.
Grandma, let me pay for it, please. You should be saving some money since I'll be leaving soon. And I want to show my appreciation for letting me stay with you these past few weeks.
Oh dear, don't worry about it. But if you're insistent, I won't turn down a free meal. I'm genuinely happy for you.
Well, let's not wait too long. I'll be home soon, so when you're ready, we can head out.
Anna, what's going on here? Did you really set up a camera in her living room? Mom and Dad are so angry about it.
Can we please discuss this later? I'm having dinner with Grandma right now.
No, we need to talk about this right now. I can't believe you secretly recorded us.
Well, someone had to take action. If there was really stealing happening, we needed to find out who was responsible. If everyone knew about the cameras, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, but
Have you even watched the footage yet? I doubt it, considering your reaction.
hold on, what did the camera capture?
Solid proof of you taking money from Mom's purse. It's as clear as day.
I can't believe this. You know it's against the law, right? Recording without asking for permission?
It was a security camera placed where it could be seen. Not my fault if you didn't notice it. And I wasn't planning to share the recording with anyone.
Mom and Dad are going to flip when they find out.
That's not my problem. Maybe you shouldn't have taken money that wasn't yours. Frankly, I'm surprised it took this long for the truth to come out. You really made a spectacle of yourself pretending to discover your own missing money.
It wasn't an act. The money really was gone, and I'm certain it was you who took it. You're the one who should be in trouble, not me. But now Mom and Dad are threatening to kick me out. They're loading up the car with my stuff.
Wait, how did you not know what was recorded on the camera? Didn't they show you?
No, Dad just started throwing my things outside. Then I spotted the camera on the table, and Mom told me it was yours.
Wow, he must be incredibly furious. He must have figured out you were behind the other missing money too. I wonder how he pieced it together.
I don't know, he's shouting about me spending money on K-pop stuff. He's convinced I got that money from somewhere shady.
Well, he's not entirely off base, is he?
No, I earned every penny. I've been working at a grocery store after school.
Which store?
It doesn't matter. Why won't anyone believe me? Mom's in tears, and Dad's just getting angrier no matter what I say.
Well, this is what happens when you steal. Don't commit the crime if you can't handle the consequences. So, what's your plan now?
Dad told me to figure it out myself, but you're moving out of Grandma's, and she has a spare room, right? I don't have anywhere else to go.
You'll have to ask her directly, but I'm letting her know about the situation and she's hesitant. She probably doesn't want you around her house. Worried you might take things from her too.
What?
I guess that's a no. Looks like you're on your own. As they say, crime doesn't pay. My younger sister was immediately kicked out of the house without receiving any money from our parents. She sought shelter at a friend's house, but her stealing habits once again led her to being expelled. With no money to spare, she looked for a nearby sales job, luckily securing a place to stay at the store. Sometime later, unable to afford her tuition fees, she had to drop out of school. She returned home seeking help from our grandmother, who could only provide a small amount within her means. As for my parents, lacking the means to cover expenses, they had to move to a small house on the outskirts. As for me, a stable job has allowed me to have a good source of income, and of course, I use a portion of that money to take care of my beloved grandma.